Here it is, folks, the Sony ZV1 with a flippy screen. Woo! In this video, I'm going to tell you all about this camera and how it compares to the Sony RX100 Mark V, what they have in common, what's different, what's innovative about this camera right here. We're going to talk about it. But first, I'm going to ask you a serious question. Do you want your images to look like this or to look like this? You can have the most expensive gear in the world, but still only produce mediocre images because your retouching is just not on point. In my retouching course down below, I'm going to show you how I professionally edit skin, how I dodge and burn, how I color grade my images in only 20 minutes. And it's super easy to follow. Click the link down below so you can take your retouching to the next level. The first feature I want to talk about is the background blur feature. I know that when I first heard about it, I'm like, is that like the portrait mode iPhone where it's like artificial blur? It's not like that. But let me show you. Actually, I'm gonna vlog really quick. All right, let's go. While I go to my bedroom, we're gonna test out the image stabilization. And let's go. Not too shabby, I think. All right, so let's take a look right here. You can see that. That's all in focus in my hallway. But when I press the background blur button, it becomes defocused. It becomes a wall of butter. Right? And how does that happen? Is that artificial? Is that in camera? It is in camera. This is basically the camera setting the lens to its widest aperture, which is f1.8, which allows me to have a softer background. And with this feature, it basically adjusts all the other settings so that I can maintain this nice wide aperture. Why is this important? Well, number one, good for beginners that don't want to fiddle with all the settings. And number two, good for someone that just wants to pick up the camera and just shoot. One of the biggest differences between the ZV1 and the RX100 Mark V is the flippy screen. Now, the flippy screen is not only exciting for me because I feel like it's a gateway into like the future of what Sony Alpha cameras are gonna be like in the future. They're all gonna have this. I know they are because we've been asking for this for a long time, but it also is very functional on this camera because now you can put a hot shoe on the top of the camera. So they got rid of the EVF on the RX100. No one liked it anyways, it was too small. They removed the electronic viewfinder, they put a hot shoe on here, so now you can use high quality microphones like the Rode Video Micro or any other microphone you want, or even a flash. I put a flash trigger on here and it actually triggers my flash unit, which is not something I would do, but it's an option, right? You also get a microphone jack just like the RX100 Mark VII, so you can plug in, like I said, any other microphone you want. If you didn't want to like plug in another microphone, they did improve the onboard mic on here. This is a 3-capsule microphone. It's directional, so it's almost like a shotgun mic. So it's focusing on the person that's talking to the camera versus like the RX100 Mark V, where it's just like listening to everything, you know, like the toilet flushing in the background or whatever. That's a bad example. All right, I've got the ZV1 and the RX100 Mark V. We're doing an internal microphone battle to the death. And which one sounds better to you? Let me know down in the comments section. All I know is that I look like I have a nice Florida tan on the ZV1 and I look kind of pale, an Alaska tan on the RX100 Mark V. That's because the ZV1 has the updated color science, so naturally I'm gonna look better on this camera. My AC unit is running on behind us, so I'm gonna see which one of these cameras picks up that noise more, because according to Sony, the ZV1 is supposed to capture less of that ambient noise and focus more on me and what I'm saying. Some of the other improvements are ergonomically. The camera now has a bigger record button. The record button on here is so tiny, it's almost like an afterthought. We got a big record button and we got a big red lamp in front of the camera that you can turn off if you want, but it lets you know that you're recording and you're filming. It has a front grip right here, which is a big deal because these cameras is like holding an iPhone 11 out the box. You know how slippery those iPhones are? You had to actually buy a grip for it. So this camera comes with a front grip and it comes with a thumb rest right here, so the camera just feels so good in the hand, so much better than what any of these RX100 cameras did. Although the ZV1 and the RX100 Mark V have the same video specs in settings, like you can only shoot up to 4K 30, the big difference is with the ZV1 you don't have a 4K record limit, so you can shoot all the way up until the battery dies out. This one you only get 5 minutes at a time. I was honestly shocked that this camera was able to do an hour-long recording of 4K footage, especially since the cap was always 5 minutes. I thought this camera was gonna blow up at some point, but it proved me wrong. Surprise, surprise, if you're gonna be shooting in bright daylight, the ZV1 also has the built-in 3-stop ND filter that was on the RX100 Mark V. You can use this ND filter for your movies and for your photos. It also comes with a wind accessory that attaches via hot shoe. This is perfect for those windy days when you're trying to get clean audio when you're trying to vlog or film. This camera also has the latest and greatest features in autofocus with real-time IAF tracking in video and real-time tracking that the higher-end Sony cameras use. You know what I'm thinking about doing? I think for the rest of this video, I'm gonna switch to this camera. All right, so now we are filming solely on the Sony ZV1 using the internal audio. I just came from filming on a Sony a7 III and a 20mm 1.8. This is a $3,000 setup, plus a $1,000 external audio setup. So that's around a $4,000 setup that I was just filming on, and this camera is only $750 right now. So keep that in mind when comparing the quality of the video and the audio. So now let me tell you one of the things that I don't like about this camera, and it is the lens focal length. This is a 24mm focal length. You know, the problem with 24mm is that 24mm, especially me, I got a kind of a big head, but don't judge me. And I got T-Rex arms. And when I'm holding the camera at an arm's length, I'm not getting much in the frame other than my head and a little bit of the background. I know a lot of people can agree with me on that, but at the same time, if they were to make this lens a little bit wider, chances are the lens would be bigger and the camera wouldn't be able to fit in your pocket. And that's the whole charm of this camera. It's supposed to be able to fit in your pocket. It's an on-the-go content creator camera. Another thing is the battery life. It has the same battery as the RX100. Basically what I'm saying there is get yourself a couple extra batteries if you plan on using this camera for video, because it's gonna chew through those batteries super fast. Now, pricing. Right now it's $750. They're doing like this little temporary promotion on it, $750. Guys, $750 for that camera when all the RX100 cameras were always $1,000 and up. You're getting all the same photo specs. You're not getting the electronic viewfinder, but you get a camera that's refined for video. You're getting everything basically and more for less money. I want to go over an underrated feature about a small camera like this that most people don't talk about. You know how it is when you're talking on your phone, and it's so much easier to talk to, like, let's say an Instagram story. I'm talking to my phone, it's easy to get my words out, versus talking to a camera like this, a bigger setup. I start to stumble and fumble and forget my words because it feels like there's a bigger production going on. You know, there's something just I don't know, there's something that does to my mind. When I'm talking to a smaller camera like this, the ZV1, it's easy for me to approach, it's less intimidating, and it's just easier to walk around with in public, create some content, or just use and talk to. It's just less intimidating. It's almost like talking to your cell phone. So that's one thing I do like about this camera. Yes, I am sacrificing quality from the big boy, but I do like the fact that this is so much more approachable on a daily basis for me. So I'm thinking about maybe using this camera, if Sony could let me use it a little bit longer, use it for more of my videos and see how I feel with this camera. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're not already, because I do photography videos every single week. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, y'all.